Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We're the Theorizers. This is our ranking of 2023 movies. Most of these we saw together, but some of them, like two, three of them, we saw individually because either one didn't want to see it, one was too afraid to see it, or one was just too cocky and thought it wouldn't be bad and then ended up being absolute garbage. So, in this video, we're going to go through them.
Movie rankings of 2023.
So, we're going to start.
We're going to start all the way at this end right here and
Ant-Man,
work our way that
Quantumania.
way.
So-
So we're going to start with Ant-Man Quantumania, and we're going to say our reasons before we actually rank them.
So, S is, perfect. A is it's pretty good. B is mid.
So we're going to say perfect.
And then C is
So we're going to do A is actually great, but it's not perfect,
Perfect.
of course.
mid.
B is
Mid.
okay,
Yeah. C is not good.
not good.
And then D is Eternals level. Or Eternals bad.
No, it's going to be not
We're seeing.
worth seeing.
Okay. So, we're going to start with Ant-Man Quantumania.
Okay.
Okay. It was okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of people say they don't really like it that much. I think it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like a good Marvel movie like it used to. Like
King,
the
the
old
only reason
ones.
I wouldn't put it, I would put it in not good if King wasn't in there.
Yeah, King definitely made it a lot.
Yeah,
better.
King made it better. That's really the only reason it's mid. Like it wasn't funny like it was made out to be,
Yeah,
but it wasn't terrible like it was made out to be.
Darren, I did not like.
No, they ruined MODOK.
Yeah.
Like hard ruin.
They just when I first watched it, the way he made me think of would be Humpty Dumpty in Puss in Boots in the first one.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, it just made
wasn't
made it
fun.
weird.
It really was.
Yeah, if they fixed his character a bit, I might
It would have been.
I might
pretty
actually
good.
put it in great.
It really was.
It's not perfect, definitely, but
Next up is Elementals.
Elemental. So
Not good. Not good. Not good.
it was okay, but it's a kids movie, so it's not really our thing.
Well, the thing is, I kind of ignore who it's made for. I look at the quality. It was boring. It wasn't engaging whatsoever.
Yeah,
Everything was kind of on the nose, and it was also just weird too. That's why I put on not good, because I fell asleep during the movie.
ah,
So if you fall asleep through a movie, you know it's not that good, and it's boring.
yeah, it's sort of stretched out a bit to
It
just.
really is.
I mean,
it's a half an hour storyline stretched out to an hour and a half, 2 hours.
yeah.
So,
If they shortened it, they could
it'd
have
be
made it
better.
a lot better.
Yeah. So I put
So,
it on not good.
If they shortened it or just actually put more to the story, we could probably put it into the okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now,
they didn't.
Indiana Jones 5.
They did pretty good. They surprised me on how good it actually was compared to what I was expecting.
Now, it wasn't as good as The Skull,
It wasn't as good as the previous ones, but
I would
but
say
they
it's
did.
okay.
They kept the feel of Indiana Jones. For
They
me.
did, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I put it on okay. Did
Yeah.
it meet expectations? No.
It's-
But did it do what it accomplished
It's gonna
to do?
go.
Yeah.
It's gonna go higher than Quantumania.
Yeah.
It's better than that. It's close to a great, but it's not quite as good. They could have done a little bit better. The time travel thing felt a little weird.
It was out of place.
Exactly.
Now, the one movie we just saw the other day.
Yeah, so this is
Aquaman 2.
Yeah. So this Aquaman just came out recently, and
Not was seen.
yeah,
Not at all. It's a waste of your money.
It was a pretty much an exact repeat of the first one. So
Only with a weaker storyline, weaker script, and weaker character development. In every respect.
and worse CGI,
Oh, definitely. Definitely a downgrade.
and a lot more inconsistencies.
Yes.
So just to talk about it a little bit. The storyline in the first one was where his dad died, the villain's dad died, and he wants revenge on Aquaman because he killed him and didn't help him to get out, so he wants revenge. Well, he lost on getting revenge, so the second one, the same thing is, he wants revenge on Aquaman because he didn't help save his dad. That's the exact same storyline.
Yeah, it's the exact same storyline, only Black Manta, instead of having a cool and, like a bad guy feel, he takes a trident that takes control of him and removes any and all personality that he even barely had.
Yeah.
Like, he used to be, like, a really, like, in the first movie, he was a really cool character. Like, his personality was, like, funny, but really, like, he was also a very violent person, so it made him very engaging.
But on this one...
But in this one, he just grabs the trident and he's like, I will do what the trident says, and loses any and all form of that.
Yeah.
Permanently.
He loses a lot more.
And then, like,
Character
Ant-Man tries
to
to, like,
himself.
Ant-Man, oh my gosh. Aquaman, even, like, so, in the movie, Black Manta's, like, gonna fall to his death, and so Aquaman, like,
Says,
reaching out his hand.
Come on, I'll save you.
To, like, go, like, to make up for his mistake, and so instead of, like, Black Manta taking his hand and then, like, you know, fearing, like, redeeming himself, redeeming Aquaman, he just goes, like,
no,
nah.
I'll never do this. Bye-bye.
And, like,
Just jumps off.
and then just kills himself. Like, it was so stupid the way that happened. Like, it would have been really cool to, like, see Black Manta take his hand. Sure, he would have gotten arrested, but at least he would have been like, you're good. Well, at least you saved me.
Yeah.
Like, and then it would have given Aquaman a good character plot. Now,
It would.
the one movie we were really hyped for, Five Nights at Freddy.
Movie.
This one,
I don't know why, but Rotten Tomatoes didn't rate it that high.
it really didn't. I think it was.
It was a
perfect.
great movie. I mean,
I think it was on the perfect level.
it was a great movie. The scene was great. Like the quality of it was great.
Amazing.
Like I wasn't super into the FNAF games or anything really, but once I saw the trailer of the quality of this movie, it's like, yeah, I want to see this, and it definitely was
It
great.
delivered.
For that.
I feel like, for me, I've been playing the game since 2014, and when the movie was announced by Warner Bros. In 2015, that's how long I've been waiting. Almost 10 years for this movie. And did it deliver? Oh, yeah. Was the quality up to standard? Oh, yeah. Did the animatronics look fire? Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Did they actually look and act like robots? And were they actual robots?
Yeah, they did.
Like, there was no CGI.
Exactly.
William Afton in the movie was awesome for the
Great acting.
5 minutes of screen time he had in the entire movie. He did the best he could.
Yeah.
Which I'm really happy with.
He did great.
The Springlock scene was amazing.
It was, yeah.
Like, for a PG-13 movie, that's the best they could have done with.
That was great.
Now, I'm sure we would have liked to see it bloodier and gorier, but for a PG-13 movie, it did the best it could.
Yeah, I liked
which
it.
I'm really glad it did.
They had a pretty good story. There was one part I didn't really like a whole lot, which wasn't like super have a point to it, but it's the fort building scene. I mean, it sort of had a purpose, but
it had a purpose, but it did drag on a little more.
Yeah, it wasn't that strong of a purpose for how long it lasted.
But it was a fun inclusion,
but it
did emphasize, like, these robots are kids at the
they are. So
even though they were actually just trying to lure Abby into a false sense of security. But it did kind of, like, give it, like, they are kids. They're just trying to be kids. Like, they're only violent when Afton tells them to be violent.
Exactly.
Like, that was the whole
It
purpose.
definitely has a good purpose to that still. So
other than that, like, MatPat being in there was awesome. The only thing that was missing was Markiplier. He would have made, like, because he was supposed to be the first security guard that dies. He would have been that would have been so much funnier. Because he, like, I don't know, like, Markiplier has, like, that personality that would have made it, like, really funny.
Yeah,
like, instead of, like, being, like, and I'm glad they didn't know. I'm glad they didn't go with, like, the classic horror movie style thing. I'm glad they tried to, like, make it more engaging. Like,
that definitely made it a lot better too.
That's
really why this is in the perfect tier.
Exactly. Now, John Wick 4.
So I did not actually watch this movie.
I did.
So he's going to be the main one talking for
So
this.
John Wick 4, I would put it in perfect, below the FNAF movie though.
Below the FNAF movie, so it'd be after that.
So John Wick, the series kind of fell. So the first one was perfect. The first one was amazing. The second one was okay. The third one was pretty good, but the fourth one gave John Wick a good conclusion. It gave him, like, best action I have ever seen in an action movie ever. Like, ever. Like, it was really, really solid. Keanu Reeves, he's 50, but yet he's doing his own stunts more than he did in the new Matrix movie. or if you want to call it a Matrix movie. We won't talk about that movie, though. But overall, it was really good. But this one we need to get to.
Sounds like the one I might want to watch sometime. But yeah, let's go to the next movie. Mission Impossible. I like this movie. So
it wasn't perfect.
It wasn't the best Mission Impossible movie. My favorite is Fallout. He actually hasn't seen any of the other Mission Impossibles yet.
No, which we'll go on. We're going to do probably mid-February, we're going to do like a whole bench-watching series thing.
Okay.
Well, I'll actually watch the entire series and go mentally insane. But
So the story was great. The action was great.
the dialogue was kind of iffy, but everything else about it was really good. So I put it on great.
I'm putting it on perfect below
Yeah.
John Wick, though. It was a great movie, very exciting. It
And
definitely felt
it
like a
built-
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it definitely felt like... Now, The Flash Season 9, that
Okay,
one Josh
so,
got to take care of. I have not seen it.
Yeah, he has not seen it, so this is my thing. So, The Flash Season 9, it was better than the previous season. Definitely better than 7, because 7...
We're
yeah.
going to talk about 7.
The CGI definitely had some problems.
What is it doesn't?
Definitely dropped Flash's power level a little bit, so he's a bit more weaker during things, so they had a lot more inconsistencies than others. It is in the okay tier. It is better than Quantumania,
But it wasn't.
but it wasn't better than Indiana Jones. It's like right in the middle. I loved the end part where Flash is doing the voiceover part where he's running through the city, giving the powers. I like the end scene. The rest of it, it's an okay film. Definitely a lot of inconsistencies. But yeah, it's an okay. That's pretty much all I had to say.
Now, the next one...
Shazam.
So, before we do it, Shazam and Blue Beetle, I feel like are like the same quality. So we're going to do both of them at the same time. Because
Yeah.
they're both the same reason why they're okay.
So
They're generic.
yeah, I did like Shazam a little bit more though.
Yeah. But
Shazam 2 is
they're
pretty
both
good.
generic. They both use the same threads. So Blue Beetle is also okay, mainly because it was predictable.
Yeah, definitely a lot more predictable.
But Shazam was a little less, but it also dragged on a lot more than it needed to. It had storylines that wasn't necessary. Wonder Woman and Shazam having that little like flirting thing was weird.
Yeah,
And especially Wonder Woman just
definitely.
raising him from the dead for whatever reason. And then
How did she even get there?
I don't know. She just Wonder Woman in that movie just,
and
like,
it's at that perfect time when they're having a funeral for him.
oh yeah,
It's
and she
that
just
perfect
happened,
time for that.
Yeah, the plot convenience was there.
Yeah.
So that's why
that's
rate
why it's
it.
not in the great tier.
Now before we get to Wonka, I want to go to Barbie.
Okay, we're gonna skip.
So I saw
I
saw
did not
Barbie.
watch it. I did not want to watch it.
I have one word to say. Crap. Not worth seeing. End of story. Okay, moving on to Wonka.
Wonka, we love
great.
this movie. It's definitely a great movie. It's not the perfect.
It has flaws.
Yeah.
But it was a great musical.
Yeah.
Great character. Like,
Most
all
of
the characters were
Yeah.
fun and engaging. I especially love that one policeman that keeps getting fatter and fatter and
Yeah,
fatter.
that's fun.
That was the funniest thing
So-
ever. Because he's like, the car shrunk.
Yeah.
it was a great film.
It was. Yeah.
A lot of people say it's mid, or a lot of people say it isn't good, or a lot of people say it's really great. There's a big spectrum with this movie. I felt me and Josh are on like it's a great film. Is it perfect? No.
Yeah. Thing,
yeah.
musical wise, most of the time I'm not really into musicals. I don't
No.
really like them a whole lot because for a large majority of that they just break into song
Well,
for no
any-
apparent reason. It just feels. If you were standing there and if that was real, it'd feel really weird.
Yeah, I get like musicals are supposed to be like, oh, they're singing in their head and it's like a unconscious thing. I get that, but at the same time it makes it look like everyone's actively like part of that.
Yeah, so
dream,
it just
and then they
seems-
just go back to being normal within like 2 minutes.
And it's not like even like a daydream type thing. It's like an actual thing.
Yeah,
but
like-
for this one, even when he was daydreaming and they were actually part of it, it actually clearly said, "Oh, no daydreaming. Oh, sorry, I gotta pay that."
Yeah, like,
that was funny.
They made the musical actually
They
realistic.
actually made it good and
'Cause-
actually fit in, not
yeah,
just a break
'cause-
into song type thing.
Because it was showing that Wonka is having a really big impact on the city. So when he's doing it, they're singing to distract the policeman.
Exactly.
So that way he can actually get in the sewers, get out,
Yeah.
and get in and out. So everyone was kind of like helping them get out. They all kind of knew what was going on.
Uh-huh.
That's why no one was snitching, well, except for the guys on the hotel. But besides that,
yeah.
That's why I really liked it because it actually made it realistic without being obvious that it is. It made it work with the plot.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I really enjoyed it.
Exactly. So it was a very great movie. Wasn't perfect, but it was really good.
Now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
So I like it for the most part. They had a few weird scenes.
Among Us.
Exactly, that's the main thing I'm thinking of. I would say it's in the great tier.
It's in the great tier.
But it's not as good as Wonka.
I think it's a great MCU film. Now,
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Now, if we're talking about on a general movie spectrum, it's okay.
Yeah.
But for a Marvel film, it was good.
Yeah.
It definitely shows if Marvel cares about their projects, they can make a good product.
Yeah.
If they actually, give a crap about them.
Yeah, that living planet type place.
That's
one part that brought
perfect.
it down. That's what brought it down from here. Yeah.
Now,
So.
Loki season 2.
Oh, we love this thing.
Perfect.
So for this movie we
For the show.
let's put it up there.
Yeah,
Not
I
quite as
think
good as
it's
FNAF.
just behind the FNAF movie.
So for the first one, it dragged on a bit.
The first one was boring, but it did have a good storyline.
It did have a good storyline.
It was just boring.
But for this one,
It was very
starting
engaging.
from the beginning, they brought everything pace really good, really good
They really did.
speed
and
for what they
made the
had.
cliffhangers to the next episode really
They made it
impactful.
great,
That
yeah.
made, like, me and Josh, like, at the end of every episode, what's going to happen in the next one? So every time an episode would come over, Josh would be like, I'm coming to your house, we got to watch the movie. I'm like, okay.
No, he went to my house, not
Yeah.
I go to his.
Yeah, sorry. yeah, he called me, he picked me up, and we watched the episode, and then we theorized about the next one. I went home, same thing every week until the show was finished.
Yeah, we had a great time
We really
watching this show. It had a great ending. Loki got his stories. I liked it. It was good. There was one episode where it was a little dragged down a little bit, but I mean, besides that, I mean, no movie technically is actually perfect. I mean, each one has like its own flaw for a part, but
I
they
think
are
it's perfect in the way that like the quality
Exactly.
and the dialogue and the story was really good. Yeah,
The
it made it
time
drag,
when they're in
like,
the 1890s.
That
episode
I'm pretty sure
was a little
all
dragged on.
like even like the FNAF movie dragged on a bit. I mean, everything drags on a bit. That's
At some
unfortunately
point,
what it
that
does.
is something
but
that
that's
is in
not
movies,
something to
but-
like rank it down. Though.
Exactly. So when they were in the 1890s, that was the only part that we had that was a little boring. But besides that, everything was great.
The Hunger Games.
So there's 3 parts to this movie.
First part was really nice.
Yeah, the first
Second part was really, really good.
Yeah.
The third part
But
dragged on
it was
for a long time.
It was like, yeah, it's like
Nothing
what
happens
happened.
fucking solid out.
What happened in the last part really was they found him out, so they sent him to the camp, and then this is when the part starts. He's a guard, and they pretty much that's it. He's a guard, and then he heads back and kills the old guy, and now he's in the other guy, and he's in charge. That's pretty much all that happens.
Yeah, so basically, the love story between the girl, whatever her name is,
He goes from
Lucy Gabert, and Snow. That was really nice. I think they did a good job with it. But
he goes from a good guy to a bad guy. That's
within
pretty much
5 minutes.
That's the only thing that really happens.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand what made him go like flip out when she just left.
Me neither.
Like she was like gonna go do something. No, actually, she was gonna run away.
Yeah.
And then instead of just like confronting her about it, he just grabs a gun and tries to kill her.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that is.
Yeah, I don't.
And
quite
then
get
completely,
that.
and then she kind of gets shot and
Yeah,
dies.
so
but then there's no body.
Yeah.
So
Well,
she
no,
just
she
sort of-
doesn't. She doesn't die because she later keeps singing.
Well, there's no blood. And
Exactly.
She definitely
She
got
doesn't-
shot. She definitely got shot. There's no question about that.
No, she not necessarily.
Dude, there was a clear shoulder shot. She at least got grazed. Like, you cannot tell me, like, he's a sharpshooter. You cannot tell me, like, he didn't go like that and completely
I would
misses.
see a sharpshooter.
Well, he's a good shooter. Like, he was trained to shoot really well. That's what a guard has to do. Like, you have to be really good at shooting. So he definitely knows what he's doing. That's why he was able to do it so well. That's why he's able to kill the Mockingjays really fast. Because he was he definitely has good aim.
He's shooting like a full spread of bullets. He's not really aiming really great. I think that he hit the tree, and it just barely missed her. She went over like a hill, and then she sort of disappeared, and she sunk for a little bit. But
trigger him, and then he got really mad, and then that's what made him evil is because she dipped on him, and then he was kind of like, I hate people, and so then he goes back to the Capitol, goes back to the guy, and he's kind of like, hey, and then the guy who runs the Capitol, he's
hey,
like,
here's some poison.
Yeah, no. So what he does is, so he's kind of like, your father created the Hunger Games. I wanted to end it, but I'm just too lazy to end it. And then Snow's like, hey, have this. Oh, thanks. And then Snow's like, I always on top. And then
So-
just like walks away, looks at the Capitol, and bam, he's just. No one questions how he died. They're all like, okay, Snow's president. Even
Yeah.
though he has nothing to his name, no way to get in, except he's dead. I have no family connection.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I haven't had connection in 3 generations. So therefore,
So-
I'm just king now. Or I'm
Okay,
dictator
so
now.
the last part was not great, but
I would say it's a great film.
I do.
The last part made it not perfect.
Yeah. So the other two did bring it up a little bit. So I'm putting it at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is better.
Okay. The Marvels, again, one word, crap. No, it's worse than that.
yeah.
Okay, the end. Moving on.
Storyline terrible. CGI terrible.
Everything terrible.
Why?
No.
Exactly.
Secret Invasion, same exact thing. Boring. No quality.
It was
whatsoever.
like a 1 an hour thing stretched out into the 6 hour episodes. There were 6 total hours for each hour episode.
Now,
It was a super long storyline and nothing
that wasn't
really
even
happened.
necessary
Exactly.
in the first place. Now, the Flush, or as like other people like to call it, the Flash.
Okay, the
if that's
Flash
what you want
movie.
to call it, or the Batman, Supergirl, and Flash movie.
One word mainly. Tomato soup tomato sauce.
Not worth saying.
I mean that's what it is. That's
That's essentially how the movie even happens. Is tomato sauce. Because his mom didn't grab tomato sauce, therefore she died.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, why?
And for
Maybe
some
you
reason, they
ask-
just added it throughout the other scenes too. Like when Batman's making food, he's making spaghetti, and
For some reason, that's the only thing the man eats is just straight spaghetti. Like, how is he not overweight? I don't know. How is he not like muscular? I don't know. Like, how is he not in fit? I don't know. Like, the man runs for a living, but only eats spaghetti. Like, at some point, you gotta realize, like, oh, spaghetti's only good once in a while, not every day consecutive. Like, breakfast, spaghetti. Lunch, spaghetti. Dinner, spaghetti. Midnight snack, spaghetti. Like, everything to him is just spaghetti and sauce. Like, because, like, what he does is, like, he goes to his dad, and his dad's like, give up. You suck. You can't fix this. And then he's like, no, I can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Just stop.
Okay, so
And then he gets sad, goes back in time, realizes the Tyrannosaurus was a thing. So then he goes back in time, fixes,
takes
and
out this can.
takes out the can, gives it to his mom, and his mom's like, "Oh, I already have it. Okay, honey, don't go to the store. Okay, thanks." And then they live, and then all of a sudden, other Barry comes in, and then he's like, "You can move at the speed of light. That's really cool." And so then Barry, for some random reason, wants him to go to the laboratory, even though it's a parallel universe, but that's besides the point. And then goes, get electrocuted. But having the new Barry get electrocuted electrocutes him, which gives him the power, which then old Barry loses power. So he tries to run, fails horribly at it. New Barry decides to go run in his clothes without any protection and burns up all his clothes, and then he walks home naked.
Yep.
That's not even a joke. You see his bare butt.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
Exactly.
And then they go like, okay, we need to form the Justice League because now Superman's villain is here. And Superman ain't here for whatever reason.
Apparently he died, which doesn't make sense because anything that would have happened on Earth wouldn't manipulate anybody in space until they land on Earth again.
It really wouldn't. But anyway, that's besides the point. And so basically...
So Superman would have not died, but how is Supergirl there? No idea. Her acting is a bit bland.
Non-existent?
Like emotion, any emotion
she has no,
in
like,
it.
like, she frowns. Like, every time she's supposed to be happy, she has this. Hi. How are
Zod,
you?"
I'm going to kill you. Let's go.
Exactly. So it's just not worth seeing. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it when it came. I bought the movie.
I did watch it in theaters, but
I wish I never spent the $15 I spent on that quote unquote movie. That's not a movie. That is like that should have been a TV show. No, actually, that should not even exist in the first place.
Exactly.
But you know what? Who am I to yell at the executives? Stop making garbage movies.
And another thing about his running,
Terrible.
that's not how you run.
The CGI is like headache inducing. Headache inducing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is our ranking for the 2023 movies. there's a few 2023 movies that were released. I'm not sure all of them, but these are the ones that at least one of us has watched.
Or majority of them we've both seen.
Yeah, at least
Some of them, like,
at
two that
least
we
one of
haven't
them.
seen.
Yeah, I've seen the Flash one. He's seen John Wick and the Barbie movie. But besides that, everything we've
I
done.
haven't seen that. We're not adding to the list.
So, tell us what your ranking is. This is our ranking.
And also,
Tell us if you think we are actually correct. So, this is our list. Subscribe and
See you in the next one.
stay tuned for more ranking videos. We're not going to be doing too much, probably just one here at the end for each year's movies. Okay, see you guys.
Peace.